buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving deep into TOPAZ Video AI.
Ooh, this is a good one.
It is, it is. It's this software, and it's causing a major buzz in the video world. People are calling it a total game changer for video enhancement and upscaling.
And rightfully so, I think.
And we're going to find out why. We're breaking down a podcast episode that really gets into the nuts and bolts of what TOPAZ Video AI can do, and more importantly, what it means for all of us.
Yeah, what it means for you listening right now.
Exactly. So think about it. Could you take your old home videos, those grainy, maybe a little shaky?
Well, we've all got those.
Yeah, from back in the day, and turn them into like these crystal clear 4K masterpieces.
Yeah.
That's the kind of potential we're talking about here.
It's mind-blowing, honestly.
Yeah. So to kick things off, let's get a handle on what exactly TOPAZ Video AI is. I mean, I know it uses AI, but...
Right. Well, at its core, it's all about using artificial intelligence to improve video quality. It analyzes and rebuilds video on like a really deep level. It's not just slapping on a filter.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So it's AI powered, but for someone who's not a tech whiz, what does that actually mean for the final product?
Okay, so imagine this. You have that blurry VHS recording of, say, your 10th birthday party, right?
Oh, I definitely have a few of those lurking in the attic.
TOPAZ Video AI can take that footage, that old, washed-out footage, and upscale it to a glorious 4K resolution.
Oh, seriously?
Seriously. And that's not all. It can smooth out the jerky motions and even remove that annoying grain, that speckled look that old videos get.
Oh, yeah, I know that look all too well. But how does it even fix blurry frames? I mean, isn't that information just lost?
It's pretty wild. It uses this thing called frame interpolation. It basically means the AI creates new frames based on the existing ones, like filling in the gaps to create smoother motion. And for blurry shots, it actually analyzes the pixels and, get this, tries to reconstruct the missing detail.
Whoa, hold on. So it's like an artist meticulously retouching a damaged photo.
Exactly. It's using some really complex algorithms, including something called convolutional neural networks. They're specifically designed for image and video processing.
Okay, this is officially blowing my mind. But let's be real for a sec. There are tons of video enhancement tools out there, right?
You're not wrong.
So what makes TOPAZ Video AI stand out from the crowd? Why is everyone making such a fuss about this one?
It all comes down to the deep learning models.
Okay, break that down for me.
So these models are trained on massive, and I mean massive, data sets of video footage.
Got it.
And that allows them to, recognize patterns and make incredibly nuanced decisions about how to enhance each frame.
So it's not just making things bigger, it's actually making them look genuinely better.
That's the key difference. You're not just stretching the image, you're adding real detail.
No, that's impressive.
It is. People are raving about how it recovers detail without creating weird artifacts or that, overly processed look. It breathes new life into old footage, whether it's home movies, classic films.
Oh, wow. Historical footage, even.
Absolutely. It's like you're seeing these things for the first time, but with, 20/20 vision.
Okay, I'm starting to see why people are calling this a breakthrough.
Yeah, and think about all the time video editors spend manually cleaning up footage. They're trying to fix blur, smooth out motion.
Hours and hours of work.
Exactly. TOPAZ Video AI can potentially automate a lot of that.
Oh, that's huge.
It is. It frees up creators to focus on, the more artistic side of things.
That's a serious game changer. But what about everyday users like me, someone who's not a professional video editor? Is this something I could even use, or does it require a lot of technical know-how?
That's one of the coolest things about it, actually.
Yeah.
It's designed to be user-friendly.
No way.
Yeah, for both, professionals and beginners.
So you're telling me I could take those old family vacation videos, the ones where the camera's constantly zooming in and out?
Oh, I know those videos.
Yeah, and I could make them look like they were shot on a professional camera?
That's the idea. It really democratizes high-quality video. It puts powerful tools in everyone's hands.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, the question that always comes up with AI, is this going to replace human video editors? Are they all out of a job?
It's a valid question, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's something the podcast we looked at actually addresses. They talk to an expert and, get this, they also have an AI assistant that chimes in.
Whoa, that's meta. And what'd they say?
Both the expert and the AI agreed that while AI is incredibly powerful, it's not a replacement for human creativity.
Okay, so it's more like AI is a super-powered assistant, not a competitor.
Precisely. It can handle the technical stuff, but it's still up to the human editor to make the creative decisions. to tell the story, to bring their artistic vision to life.
That makes sense. So instead of being afraid of AI, video editors can actually use it to, like, elevate their work even further.
Exactly. It's all about collaboration, not competition.
I love that. This is where it gets really interesting for me. If AI is taking over the technical side of things, does that change how we think about video production as a whole? Is this like a fundamental shift?
I think so. It definitely raises some big questions about the future.
Like what?
Well, on the one hand, it could free up editors to focus more on storytelling and artistic expression.
I can see that. Less time wrestling with the software, more time crafting a compelling narrative.
Right. But on the other hand, some experts worry that relying too heavily on AI could lead to this, like homogenization of video.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, if everyone is using the same tools to get that perfect, polished look,
Right, right.
well, we start to lose some of those unique stylistic touches that make videos stand out. The things that give them personality.
That's a good point, like those social media filters that make everyone look kind of the same after a while.
Yeah, exactly. Something to think about.
So are we headed for a future where every video looks like it was made by a robot?
Not necessarily. I think the key here is balance, right?
Balance. Okay.
AI is this incredibly powerful tool, but it's ultimately up to us, the humans,
Right.
to use it wisely and creatively. We can embrace the benefits without sacrificing our own artistic vision and individuality.
All right, enough with the hypotheticals. Let's get down to brass tacks. Based on what we've learned, is TOPAZ Video AI worth the hype? Should our listeners be hopping on the AI bandwagon for their video projects?
Based on what we've seen, it's a resounding yes.
A resounding yes. Okay.
It seems to represent a real step forward in video tech. It's powerful, relatively easy to use, and it offers incredible potential for both pros and, everyday creators.
That's pretty convincing. It's going on my list of things to try, that's for sure. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, there's one thing that's really stuck with me.
Cool. I'm curious.
Well, if AI can make any footage look incredibly real and polished, how does that impact how we think about video as evidence? Can we still trust what we see, knowing that it could be manipulated?
That is a profound question, and I think it's one we're going to be grappling with for a long time. As AI gets more and more advanced, it's going to become harder and harder to tell what's real and what's been fabricated. And that means we'll need to develop new ways to assess the authenticity of video evidence.
Wow, it's almost like we're entering a world where seeing is no longer believing.
It's a challenge, but it's also an opportunity. It forces us to be more critical about the information we consume, to develop a more discerning eye for what's genuine and what's not.
So it's not just about the tech, it's about how we use it and how we interpret what we see.
Exactly. It's a whole new way of thinking about video. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, where does this all lead?
Yeah, for sure. And it's not just hypothetical. We're already seeing this play out with, deep fakes and stuff.
Oh, deepfakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where AI is used to create those videos of people, like, saying and doing things they never actually did.
Right, and it's so convincing. It's kind of freaky, actually.
It is a little unsettling, for sure. I mean, it's one thing to enhance existing footage,
Right.
but to actually create entirely synthetic videos,
Hmm.
that feels like, I don't know, crossing a line.
Yeah, like, ethically, it just feels kind of wrong.
Definitely raises a ton of ethical questions. But the crazy thing is,
Yeah.
the technology underneath it all, it's essentially the same,
So whether you're enhancing a video or creating a deepfake, you're still using AI to manipulate footage in a way that's, like, increasingly hard to detect.
Exactly. It's all about pixels and algorithms in the end.
Okay, so how do we even begin to navigate this world where we can't always trust what we see? It's like a minefield out there.
Yeah, it's a huge challenge. There are no easy answers.
Yeah.
But I think a big part of the solution
Yeah.
is going to be media literacy and just thinking critically.
So being more aware of how these technologies work, how they can be misused.
Yeah, and not taking everything at face value.
So, like, becoming more savvy consumers of media.
Exactly. Cultivating a healthy dose of skepticism, especially with all the video content online. Okay, that makes sense. Question everything, basically. But are there, like, any technological solutions in the works? Anything that can help us tell the real from the fake?
There is actually a lot of research going on in that area.
Really?
Yeah, there are some really brilliant people out there who are working on algorithms
Okay.
to analyze videos for, like, the telltale signs of manipulation.
So they can, like, spot the inconsistencies.
Yeah, they look for subtle things like artifacts or patterns that might indicate the footage has been tampered with.
It sounds like a constant battle. Like a technological arms race between the deepfake creators and the deepfake detectors?
In a way, yeah, it kind of is. But technology alone can't solve this problem.
Right, there's always going to be someone trying to stay one step ahead.
Exactly. And we also need to think about the bigger picture, the social and political factors that are driving the spread of misinformation.
Okay, so what are we talking about here? Like, what kind of factors?
Well, there's this growing lack of trust in institutions,
Hmm.
and the rise of echo chambers and filter bubbles online. Right, where people just see what they want to see and they're not exposed to different viewpoints.
Exactly. And then there's the deliberate spread of propaganda and disinformation. It's a complex web of issues.
It is. It sounds pretty daunting, honestly. Like, how do we even begin to address all of that?
It is daunting, but I think it starts with conversation. We need to be open and honest about these issues, and we need to work together to find solutions.
Well said. This whole conversation has been eye-opening, and I'm sure our listeners are feeling the same way. Topaz Video AI is clearly an amazing tool, but it's also clear that it comes with its own set of challenges, especially when you start thinking about the potential for misuse.
I think that's a good summary.
Mhm.
It's both exciting and, like you said, a bit daunting to think about how these tools will shape the future of video and how we understand reality itself.
Absolutely. Okay, so before we get too deep into the philosophical side of things, are there any practical limitations to Topaz Video AI? I mean, can it literally fix any footage no matter how bad?
It's important to remember that as amazing as it is, it's not a magic wand.
Okay, fair enough.
It can do incredible things with footage that's just, low resolution, grainy, or shaky.
Yeah.
But if the footage is really badly damaged, or if there's just key information missing, even the best AI can only do so much.
So you can't just take a completely blank VHS tape and have it generate a Hollywood movie.
I wish. Sadly, no. It needs something to work with, some kind of visual data to analyze and enhance.
Okay, so it's a tool for enhancement, not for creation.
Exactly. It's like, imagine a really talented artist who's restoring a damaged painting, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They can fill in the gaps and recreate details,
yeah.
but they can't just, conjure something out of thin air.
Got it. So it's about making what's already there better, not about inventing something entirely new.
Right, and that's a crucial distinction.
Yeah, it's about setting realistic expectations. Okay, so we've talked about the technical side of Topaz Video AI, and we've touched on the potential pitfalls of AI-powered video manipulation. It seems pretty clear that this is a technology that's going to have a huge impact on how we create, consume, and even just perceive video.
No doubt about it. And it's really just the tip of the iceberg. As AI keeps advancing, we can expect even more incredible tools and capabilities to emerge.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of mind-blowing to think about what's possible.
It is. And those tools are going to further blur the lines between reality and simulation. And that's going to challenge us even more to really think about what we see.
And how we understand the world around us.
Exactly.
Okay, so as we continue our deep dive into Topaz Video AI, let's shift gears a bit and think about things from the viewer's perspective. How do you think these tools are going to change the way we watch and experience video? What will it mean for us as an audience?
That's a fantastic question. And to be honest, I don't think it gets talked about enough.
Right.
I mean, think about it. We're already getting used to this level of visual polish and perfection that would have been unimaginable just a few years ago.
You're right. Like those nature documentaries with the crystal clear slow motion shots of animals.
Exactly. Those are incredible, aren't they?
I was watching one about hummingbirds the other day, and it was like I could see every single feather.
It's breathtaking.
Yeah.
And a lot of times,
Yeah.
those kinds of shots are only possible because of AI-powered enhancement tools.
So it's not just the cameras themselves, it's the AI that's helping to bring out those details.
Right. And smoothing out the motion and just creating that, really immersive experience.
So are we being spoiled by AI? Are we going to start expecting that level of visual perfection in everything we watch? Even, our friends' vacation videos.
It's definitely a possibility. And it makes you wonder about the future of, aesthetics and visual storytelling.
Right. Will there be a backlash against all this hyperrealism?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Will people start to crave something that feels more raw and authentic? Or will we just embrace all the possibilities that AI offers and keep pushing those boundaries even further?
It's fascinating to think about. I guess it's up to each of us, both as creators and as viewers, to decide what kind of visual world we want to live in.
I think that's beautifully put.
Yeah.
We have the power to shape this future.
We do. Okay, so as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one final kind of thought-provoking question to ponder.
All right, hit me with it.
If AI can make any footage look amazing, does that mean we're entering an age where seeing is no longer believing?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That is a question that really cuts to the core of it all, doesn't it? Like, if we can't just take what we see at face value anymore, how are we supposed to make sense of it all? How do we know what's real?
It feels like we're stepping into this world where we have to constantly question everything we see. Like almost like we need to develop a whole new set of skills, like visual literacy or something.
Yeah. I think you're onto something there. It's not enough to just passively watch and enjoy a video anymore. We have to be able to analyze what we're seeing, to think critically about it.
To consider the source, look for signs of manipulation.
Yeah, exactly. And even be willing to challenge your own assumptions about what we're seeing.
It sounds kind of like we're all becoming amateur detectives in this new visual world.
Huh. Maybe there's a bit of that to it.
Hmm.
But it's not just about being suspicious of everything we see, you know?
Right, right.
It's also about appreciating the incredible creative potential that these tools unlock.
Oh, absolutely. We've focused a lot on the potential downsides, but let's not forget that Topaz Video AI and these other AI tools can be used for good too.
Absolutely. It's not inherently good or bad. It's all about how we use it.
They can help us preserve memories, tell stories in new and innovative ways, maybe even create art that wouldn't have been possible before.
It's a whole new world of possibilities.
Yeah.
But as with any powerful technology, there's always the potential for misuse. So we have to be mindful of that.
Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into Topaz Video AI, what's the one key takeaway you want to leave our listeners with?
I think the most important thing to remember is that we're living at a really pivotal time for video. AI is fundamentally changing the game, and it's up to each of us to decide how we want to participate in this new era. Are we going to be passive consumers of content that might be increasingly manipulated?
Right, right.
Or are we going to be active, engaged, and critical viewers who understand the power and potential of these tools?
That's a great way to put it. It's not about rejecting AI, it's about embracing it thoughtfully and responsibly.
Exactly. Being aware of the risks, but also excited about the possibilities, this is a chance to really redefine what video can be.
Yeah, pushing those creative boundaries, crafting new ways to tell stories.
And ultimately creating a more visually rich and engaging world.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time we surface from our deep dive.
Back to reality.
We've explored the amazing tech behind Topaz Video AI, talked about the ethical implications, and even caught a glimpse of a future where AI and human creativity are intertwined in ways we can barely even imagine right now.
It's been a fascinating journey. And this is really just the beginning.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be seeing a lot more from AI in the video world, and it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Definitely exciting times ahead.
Agreed. So to our listeners out there, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep your eyes open. The future of video is in our hands, and it's gonna be an incredible ride. Until next time, happy diving.